good, we do cardio. I burn like Mario, cause stress like Sicario. But that catches party on, I'm a Gemini, and she's a Scorpio. But that don't cross our minds when we on the cardio. Bet you wanna be.
I'm gonna tell you what, I have a home DIY YouTube channel, right? And that's awesome. I stand by it. I'm proud of those projects. I love watching other people do those projects. And also recently I found I just don't have the energy. I don't have the energy. I don't know if it's because I'm aging. I don't know if it's that my cognitive abilities are slipping. I find I don't crave the manual labor in this moment in my life. I think the ideal room makeover for me at this time is one that I don't do. Somebody else does it. So this is a lazy girl's kitchen makeover. We're gonna see how far I can get without using a power tool, without building something from scratch. I don't want to gain any kind of muscle tone through this project. I don't care to work hard at this. So I'm gonna do my very least. It's gonna be a makeover that anyone can do. I also wanna keep it low budget. I think I can do this on $500. Also gonna talk about where I like to invest money, where I think it's way better to save money, and mostly just keeping this makeover super realistic. I just want it to be an easy time. So that's enough talking, just start doing it. Just shush and do it, okay? This is the kitchen of my one-bedroom apartment in a Washington, D.C. row house. It's the first time I've lived alone, and I'm so grateful for this space. This is chaos. This is chaos. Excuse you. Now, people are always asking me how to start designing a room from scratch. Step one is to identify the immovable objects in your space. What are the things you cannot override or that you don't want to override and that you're gonna have to work with? By identifying them and working with them, you're gonna save yourself time and money. In this space, this is what I see as the immovable objects. It's very dimly lit. As you'll see, the whole video is dark and moody. So then rather trying to fake a light and bright room, I'm just gonna lean into that moodiness. Did not clean any of my dishes. I got a bone to pick with this trash can. The other biggest immovable object are the cabinets. These cherry cabinets are perfectly lovely, but they may not have been my first choice. But instead of trying to work against them, I'm gonna work with them. And I'm gonna choose design elements that will hype them up, let them shine, and feel like the best choice ever. This is my rolling pin. I don't use it, but it fits perfectly here, and that's very satisfying to me. Identifying the immovable objects will ultimately lean into what makes your space feel wonderful and unique. Oh, and this guy. This was just given to me by the guy I was dating at one point. Very nice of him to do. I really appreciated it. And also, I'm ready for an upgrade. So, I will be upgrading that. I don't know. I feel like I need a little more counter space, so hopefully getting a little more counter space for myself. In addition, lovely elements I want to lean into here are the beautiful wood floors and high ceilings. Let's freaking kick it. Okay, we've got cherry cabinets. I could ask my landlord if he would let me paint them. He could say yes, you never know. But I will never be doing that in my life. Refinishing cabinets, red flag. That's manual labor right there. Won't be doing it, shan't be. So I've decided for my makeover, I'm working with the existing countertops. I'm gonna work with the cherry cabinets. I want to find a way to hype them up, to make them feel chosen and intentional, even though they're like the least favorite child, but I don't want them to know that, right? Lie to your children. So, one of the easiest ways to hype up your cabinetry or your space is to update the hardware. Hardware and lighting are the jewelry of your home. It can elevate any outfit. And not only are you gonna get a huge bang for your buck when you update the hardware, but it's also one of the physical touch points of your space. So if you can make that feel high quality, then you have a higher quality experience in the space every time you physically interact with that touch point. If you have a super warm tone cabinet, I often like to go the opposite direction with the hardware, to go super cool tone. So I like that these are cool tone, it's a silver, but they're super low quality. And we're gonna spruce it up a little bit. So we're upgrading the builder grade brushed chrome knobs to these beautiful polished nickel. Still super simple, classic, but it's a little higher quality. And by keeping in the cool tones, it's gonna make the warm cabinetry really pop. I'll link it all, it's all linked. Everything else here is like solid color, solid color, solid color. So I'd love to add some pattern in by doing some kind of patterned backsplash or tile back here. And there's really only one brand that I like to use. I use these tiles in all different places in my home. I'll link them. I'll link everything that I can. So these are the 3 that I was immediately drawn to. I end up definitely liking this one the most. The cabinets are warm tone and saturated, so to really make them pop and feel special, I'm gonna go cool tone and more muted. What's great about this renter-friendly vinyl backsplash is it comes in a whole sheet, more like a thick wallpaper. It's super easy to apply, but before I apply it, I'm gonna paint the rest of the room a moody blue to match the backsplash, lean into that moodiness of the room, and just like that, we have a pattern and a color palette for the space. All by starting with the immovable object, the red monochrome cabinets, and playing off of that, working out from there. I trimmed my bangs myself last night. It did not go the way that I wanted, and that is all that I would like to say about that. Okay. There's a hole here from where the paper towel, old paper towel hook thing was. I took it down. I should spackle this. I should spackle it. But I know that I'm gonna be putting backsplash over here, so shan't be spackling it. Shan't be. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, I'm just saying it's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, this is the brightest this room ever gets. After 2 p.m., it gets very dark in this room. So we're leaning into that moodiness, and carrying that color up the walls is gonna play up our nice high ceilings. Always infuriates people that I don't tape when I paint. Take it to the comments, y'all. Take it to the comments. And you know what? I'll tell you what, if it makes you angry, I promise you this. I promise I will never come to your house and prevent you from using tape. Follow your heart. Live your truest life. Mine is a very lazy life. I also like to use a paint scraper to get around corners. Be free. Follow your heart. I just want you to be true to you. I gotta get up here. That is proving very hard to access. Okay. I'm actually not allowed to, I was told I am not allowed to paint my apartment. I was told I can only paint it white. Well, what if I just asked? This is my recommendation to all y'all renters. The worst they can say is no. The worst they can say is no. That's actually the truth for everything in life all of the time. Just ask. But the worst they can say is no. My landlord is not gonna write back and be like, how dare you? You're dead to me. I don't love you anymore. That would be an inappropriate response. It wouldn't make any sense for the situation and for the nature of our relationship. It wouldn't. I texted him. I showed him first photos of what I have done in the apartment, let him know I'm taking good care of it. Then I felt like I was able to ask, I would like to do this with the kitchen. How do you feel about that? And he said, please do it. He was so sweet. So do what you're comfortable with, duh. But the worst they can say is no. All he can say is no. Yo dog, speaking of kitchen accessories, look at this. I have no occasion to incorporate this into my makeover, but I really wanted to show it off. This is my new little like milk creamer dispenser. It's very foggy because it's cold, but it's just like a glass creamer carton. What the hell? So if you're wondering what my fetish is, it's that. That's related to nothing, but I was very excited to talk to you about it. Also, today's video is sponsored by Ritual. is what I'm supposed to say. I talk about Ritual all the time on my channel. It's not news to anyone. They've been a lovely sponsor to make this whole channel possible. I use Ritual as my multivitamin. It's very easy to take. It never upsets my stomach. But they also just launched Synbiotic, which is more than just a probiotic. It includes a probiotic, prebiotic, postbiotic. If you don't know what those are, here's a breakdown. Prebiotics support the growth and activity of beneficial bacteria living in the gut. Probiotics are the live microorganisms. They relieve bloating, gas, mild and occasional diarrhea. And a postbiotic provides fuel to the cells that make up the gut lining, and that supports gut barrier function. Science. One of the sweetest things about Ritual is that it's a subscription that is delivered monthly to your door. Speaking of lazy girl hacks, ain't gotta do nothing. It's a single nested minty capsule, that minty flavor you know and love. It's also a delayed release capsule, which means it helps it reach your colon and not just your stomach. I'm gonna put a code in the description box if you wanna use that to get 20% off your first month. Using code Caroline20, it's my name, and the 20 is the percent. So it all checks out. That's 20% off your first month by going to ritual.com/Caroline20 and use code Caroline20 at checkout. Do it. Why would you not? I've had a super positive experience with Ritual in every way. There's no way to lose. That's the end of my pitch. And thanks to them for supporting this YouTube channel. We are going to backsplash. I'm very excited. This is the biggest financial investment I'm making in this very skimpy kitchen makeover, and this is what's gonna make the biggest impact. It looks like a tile, but they're not separated or anything. It's almost more like a vinyl-ish wallpaper. Anyway, I let the paint cure overnight. Because I know I'm putting backsplash on it, you definitely wanna let the paint cure overnight so it doesn't like pull it all off. I could let it cure another day, but I'm trying to get this video out, y'all. Trying to get this video out. So, all right, let's do this.
Me and my girl, we do cardio. I run like Mario, cause dress like Sicario. But that catches party on. I'm a Gemini, and she's a Scorpio. But that don't cross the minds.
I never know if I ordered enough. We'll see. We'll see if I ordered enough. I've used every peel and stick product under the sun, and I usually hate them. And while this project is renter friendly, I don't want it to feel renter friendly. I don't want it to feel cheap or temporary. But this is the only brand that I love. Every time I use it, it never feels cheap, and it adds so much character to the space. My recommendation is to cover the largest wall expanses first, and then use the scraps to fix the hidden corners and less visible areas. These are the scraps I had left. This is all I had left. Kind of a perfect fit. I knew it would be a very tight fit. It might have been easier if I'd bought a third roll, but that would have cost me like $100 more. So this is a miracle today. Like it gets patchy up in this corner, and it's getting patchy up in here. And it's easy to fixate on those things when you're doing it, but you really, no one will notice. The end. Okay, I think it's very backlit because of the window, but I want to turn my attention now to the remaining corner of the room. I do want more countertop space, and I did like having a piece of furniture here. I just want a nicer one. I'm going to create a little coffee bar area in this corner, and Facebook Marketplace saved the day. So this is no, can you focus, please? Why are you doing that? That's weird. So this is a marble top wash stand, or like a dry sink sometimes it's called. I like it because I got it off Facebook Marketplace, $65. It's an antique, it's from like pre-Civil War, allegedly. It's way cleaned up now, but when I got it, it was super scuffed up. It definitely hadn't been cleaned in generations. Then I used a stain marker to clean up scratches on here. This is what the washstand looked like when I first got it. It's super scratched up, and this is footage from months ago, so we're going back in time. But I used this Minwax stain marker to fill in scratches. It's a really easy hack. I even use it on wood floors sometimes. And my process is I just like fill it in and I wipe off excess with a paper towel. It makes a huge difference. Look at this. It literally made it look so much better. It took it from looking like a scratch up piece of furniture to more like a polished antique, which it is. And I used the color dark walnut. A sweet little piece like this brings a lot of character and is great for a coffee bar, but it could also be a regular bar, an alcohol bar, cart thing. Okay, a super important thing I want to talk about is like problem solving in your space. The good thing about restrictions and limitations in any space or any project is that it forces you to get more creative. So don't get, discouraged because your space isn't exactly the thing you want it to be. Life is almost never going to be exactly the thing we want in that moment, and that doesn't mean we can't still make something like very positive out of it, right? For example, in my space, so many things I love about this kitchen, and it's a little small, and so I would like to free up as much of the footprint as possible. This trash can, love this trash can, great trash can, but it's just taking up more floor space than I'm comfortable with. So I'm gonna be removing this and finding another option. I'm not gonna have a freestanding trash can in my kitchen. But what I wanna emphasize is the concept of looking at like, okay, what's the hang up that's bothering you? What's the obstacle? And what are even little tiny microscopic ways that you can adjust to that? So this is gone. To save floor space, I put the trash under my cabinetry. There was literally only one cabinet available that it would fit under. I found one that fit perfectly. So like, trash cans are not that sexy to show. I'm not showing it because it's like a satisfying thing to look at on a DIY channel, but the general rule I think is really important. And I think it's easy to get downtrodden by the feeling of like, well, I wish I could just do a full remodel. I wish I could just do a full renovation. I wish I could just tile over this. Just don't let those things stop you. It won't always be the perfect situation. And if you look around, I bet there are little creative improvements that are specific to your space that can help get you closer to the space that you want. Continuing with the theme of freeing up space by making tiny adjustments, I'm freeing up counter space by moving all my spices onto magnetic spice racks that attach to the fridge. Not only does that give me back a bunch of my countertop space, but it's gonna be way less visually busy to the eye. And this isn't a huge deal, but I hate looking at this loose sponge all the time. So I'm nesting that in a sponge holder on the outer wall of the sink so that I cannot see it from anywhere in the kitchen. Thank God, little improvements. I love adding mood lighting to the kitchen, and this mini maroon pleated lamp pops so nicely against the blue. It's very similar to the one in my bedroom makeover, but half the price, baby. By the way, for small rugs, this kind of rug pad never works for me. I always use these sticky grip guys. I'll link them. I don't know, they're better. Wow, hello, it's another day because there's only like 2 hours a day that there's enough light to film in this kitchen. So I had to wait till today. Okay, we were gonna finish accessorizing and we're gonna do it since I've run out of my budget and I'm staying true to the budget. We're gonna accessorize with it's just me, singular person, first person. I'm going to accessorize with just stuff I have in my kitchen. Now, not everything that I already own is pretty and aesthetic and matches the color scheme, but I bet there are some things in my kitchen, in yours, that are going to warm the space up, give it a little bit of personality, fit in with the color scheme. So just look for those items because we've all got a budget. I don't care if you're a millionaire, everyone's working with a budget. Everyone's dreaming outside their means. So, look to what you already have and try to make that work when you've, capped off your budget. Here we go.
Waking up in my bed, you're still stuck
Test,
in
test,
my
test,
head.
test, test, test.
I'm not even hungover. I wanna call your phone, tell you what you did wrong, then ask you to come over. Not very good with decisions, know what's right, but I don't listen. I don't. And I complain and dismiss it, then I keep on reminiscing. I know.
Okay, can I tell you a secret? When I first painted this wall color, I was like, oh, well, I hate that. I picked the wrong color. But I've been like cramming so hard to try and get this makeover done that I was like, well, it doesn't matter, too late. I'm on a deadline. It's just gonna be this color. And I didn't love it, but once I put stuff on the walls, I loved it. Now I love it, but I was not feeling good about this makeover till like 22 minutes ago. What's the lesson? What's the takeaway here? The takeaway, no one's asking. I think my takeaway, there's no thing that's good or bad. I don't feel that any object, any color, any pattern is inherently, intrinsically good or bad. It depends on the context. It depends what you do with it. I could choose a sofa that really wouldn't work in my space, and then you put it in the right context and it's spectacular. Same with paint colors. Like, I kind of hate blue. I do kind of hate blue. You'll see there's no blue anywhere else in my home. But for some reason, I was just feeling it here, and the reason is because I'm working off of the cherry cabinets. So with the cherry cabinets, I love the blue. And I would say tealish blue is like one of my least favorite colors, but when I pair it with like a mustard yellow and a coral pop and some purples, I'm loving it. So I don't know what my point is. I don't know, but I'm still talking, and I feel happily delighted. I'm loving how the kitchen turned out. Didn't think I was going to. I was just gonna do the makeover anyway. So I'm relieved. I hope we're all relieved. Dang, I'm tired. Dang, it feels freaking cute as heck. What the heck? I hope that you guys take a chance with your space. Don't feel like you have to wait for your forever home or till you can afford the renovation or till you have the perfect space. Life ain't perfect, ain't ever gonna be perfect. Trying to make the most with what we've got. There's stuff you can do today, and I hope you feel a little inspired. I'll see you soon. Bye.